Hi, and welcome to My Otome, where we talk about Japanese dating simulations and visual novels. I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Tiana, and today we're talking about the Mad Hatter storyline. So this is also like the secret storyline and kind of like the story later on made storyline. So there's like a lot of secret endings and stuff. So we're going to divide this little whole storyline by two parts since his Rhion storyline doesn't actually have a sequel. So we're also just going to have like the other endings, the ones that I didn't get in the epilogue in our little mini episode that we will be releasing tomorrow.
Yep.
Yay, so you get 2 in 1 week before we go on break.
Yes.
So, due to Ryan's story being like different, we get a prologue.
Really?
Yeah, he gets his own little prologue.
Oh, look at him, all special. I'm not gonna lie, he's kind of attractive too. Hear me out. Yeah, hear me out.
I'm hearing you out. I understand.
Yeah.
I was sitting here like, this is one of my favorite storylines. This is the basement dweller.
When you sent me photos of him, I was like, why am I into this? Why?
Yeah.
Why am I okay with this?
You and me both. Even the MC is like, why am I into this man?
This is the first man she questioned?
I mean, I'm not surprised this is the man she questioned, but yeah.
That's fair.
This is the man she questioned out of all of them. The rest of them are all attractive up front, so you're not going to question it.
Yeah.
Him, on the other hand, yeah.
I thought he didn't have a nose. And then I saw him out of the Mad Hatter cosplay, and I was like,
he has a full face.
Yeah, and he's kind of fine.
Yeah, so a prologue.
Yes.
Of course, you're in the birdcage as always, but ignore that.
Okay.
We're not here for that.
Yeah, no.
That is just the norm at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, several hours before birdcage incident, you're starting your first day at Trust Spade Hotel.
Your first day?
Yeah, your first day. And mind you, this is the dream hotel.
Okay.
And then you meet Chisato, which, of course, you have to meet your besties.
Mm-hmm.
You get your uniform, a tour of the hotel. While you're at the dorm, you end up seeing Mamoru just, like, casually walking around the dorms. You're weirded out because you're like, who is this homeless-looking man?
Not homeless-looking man.
Well, you didn't say homeless. You're more like frumpy.
Somehow that's not better.
Chisato's also confused, too. She's like, is he a guest here? I know he's not staff. Who is this man? So, anyways, y'all are trying to figure out who he is, and he just kind of disappears from sight. You know, as he does. He's pulling a baba.
Not pulling a... I love that it's pulling a baba now. Just because it's very funny.
And so, it's going to be an inside joke from now on forever.
Someone just disappears, we're like, oh, pulled a baba.
Yep. So, you get introduced to the IVC again, and then, you know, Isaac comes into the lobby. You're standing in his way. He tells you to move. Like, Sakio comes in, and she's like, oh my god, I wish he would tell me to move.
Girl,
I wish he would talk to me.
Why are you thirsting after someone? Why are you thirsting after your boss?
I mean, Chisato explains who he is, and, I mean, what the VIP lounge is. Apparently, the whole time, the VIP lounge, that big lounge that they're always in, it's called the Spades Room.
That's
like, why?
But why is that only just now being brought up?
Yeah, I'm like, why am I finding out new lore in the secret route?
Exactly. Like, why is it only just now a thing?
I'm finding out new lore in the route that was made after she started getting eyeballs. MC got eyeballs. Because I don't know if you know this, in the older versions of these games, you don't have eyes. You're just drawn without eyes or a nose. So people go, it gives a feel of like you can ascribe yourself onto them. But you're always still like a brown-haired Asian girl who looks white. Later on, you get eyeballs and a nose.
Yay! Yippee!
Personally, I miss the old times where I didn't have eyes. Because then you just have the big round eye, doe eyes, and you're like, I don't like looking at you. I think I like you better when you didn't have facial expressions. Well, you had expressions, but you didn't have eyes.
Dang.
That's how you know the stories are really good, when you don't have eyeballs or a face. When they try to obscure your face, that's how you know those stories are the best.
He's completely.
Well, actually, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
That was younger's me calculations of how the stories were good when you didn't have a face. All the newest stories are like, this is trash. You have a face now. This got into a really weird rant.
Did, but it's okay.
Anyways, Hatter storyline is going to make you feel like that the whole time. Because the first night I had to stop reading because I was like, I feel a little crazy. And I was on chapter 2.
Huh. Yay!
It's like, I feel a little insane. Gotta put this down for a minute.
I'm so excited.
But anyways, yeah, Sekio introduces herself to you, and she takes you to the casino because she wants to show you around there. And then in the casino you bump into Ota, and you don't even know who he is at the time. You just don't know who anybody is for some reason. I don't know.
You don't know if it. Oh, the grow lights in the room turned on. You don't know a famous artist?
Yeah. So Sekia has to tell you who he is, and then you realize, yeah, I've heard of him. Of course, Ota's rude from like the jump. He's not even like trying to be nice.
Dang.
Yeah, Ota's a dick. This whole storyline. If you haven't noticed from the screenshots.
Yeah, I kind of gathered that, but like, at first I was like, oh, that's just Ota, it's fine, and then I was like, no, he's really going for the throat.
Yeah, he was a little worse than normal, and I'm just here like, are you good?
I don't think he is, honestly. My hair is driving me nuts.
There's just something about Rhion that he just hates.
Dang.
He just wants that man like dead. I don't know why.
I don't know what he did, but apparently he deserves to be dead. And Ota.
Yeah. So of course, Erica has to come in because she saw you bump into Ota and chastises you, and gets on your case and talks about how she's going to be watching you from now on. Like, bro,
get a life.
It's my first day.
Exactly. Like,
leave me alone.
It's not your fault. At the casino.
So you go back down to the lobby and you end up staring at Baba because he's like wearing a bright red suit, and you're like, that dude's attractive, but why is he in a red suit? You don't see that every day.
Yeah, not everyone just has a custom tailored bright red suit, nor does everyone wear a fedora.
Nobody wears a fedora nowadays.
Exactly. My fedora phase started and ended in 2016.
2012-ish. But yeah. So you start following him around because you thought he dropped a mask. And so you end up catching up to Baba, but you're in the IVC already. And Baba flirts with you, and you know how he is, and then dips out.
Okay.
You realize you're at the IVC, and you see some people with masks, so you're like, I'll just go ask them if the mask is theirs instead, since Baba said it wasn't his. And instead of actually asking them...
Wait. You see a bunch of people wearing masks, and you're going to ask the people wearing masks if a mask that you found on the ground is theirs.
Yes.
When they're already wearing masks.
Yes.
I'm glad to see you haven't changed.
Yeah. You're actually a lot smarter in this one, but I mean, that's not hard to be.
It's really not. Honestly, like, I'm guessing that's her moments, considering she went to ask people who were wearing masks if a mask she found was theirs.
Yeah. So instead of actually asking them, because they start moving away, you just kind of follow them, and you, like, see them say a password to the bartender, go into this secret room, you keep following them, and you're like, oh, this is weird. Is this some secret room that I didn't get a tour on? So you follow them into the mirror room, and then you follow them into the elevator, and you're like, is this anybody's mask? And they're like, we're all wearing masks. What do you mean?
Okay.
And you're like, something's kind of off here. They're all super weird and this is all getting suspicious. And they're sitting here like, you're the only one not wearing a mask. Put on the mask. It's your mask. So you do as they say. And then you just start following the crowd to the auction. Mm-hmm.
Just leave. You do. Why? Okay.
So you get stopped at the door and they tell you to put on your mask because they said you can't come into the auction without the mask. And you're like, I guess this is a play or some sort. So you put on the mask and then the auction starts and you're thinking it's a play. And then you realize it's not a play. It's for real. This is a real black art market auction.
Okay.
So you try to leave to go tell Chisato about this whole black market auction in the basement. And so you just start opening random doors. And the random door you open, Kojiro? I think that's what his name was. The dude with the scar. Scar dude from last time, from Sora's Realm. He's there and he puts a gun to your head. Yeah. Great start to your day.
Wonderful. Your first day at work. You get your head.
Soru comes out, sees you. He's like, just let her go. She's a hotel staff. Don't bother with it. She's not gonna say shit. And even if she does, Isaac's right there. It's gonna be Isaac's problem. Which, I mean, like, that was really nice of Soru.
It was. Normally Sora's not the nice one.
I mean, Soru's nice, but he's still, like, doesn't give a fuck about your life.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like Soru and Ota might have switched places.
Soru chilled out a lot in this storyline. He doesn't talk too much in this storyline. And let me tell you something. Isaac acts like he's a dad in this storyline.
What happened to them?
Isaac is a disappointed dad.
Dang. Okay.
With his coddled child.
With his coddled child. No.
So, of course, like, you end up running because they let you go. You crash into the dude who has the Venus statue again.
Mm-hmm.
And so as the commotion with you and the dude is happening, the Hatter comes out and he's like, "Hey, what's going on here? Do you got the Venus statue?" And the dude gets mad at you, and Hatter tells them that if they don't have anything else to sell, they have to pay a $1 million cancellation fee.
What?
So you end up getting put up to sale for instead.
Shoot. I was about to say, make them pay that fee, but I should have.
No. So, yay, episode 1. Birdcage.
Woo, yay.
Woo, you're sold for $20 million.
Woohoo.
After the auction, the Mad Hatter kind of just takes you out, and he reminds you that everything and anything is for sale here. Human trafficking? That's not a thing. Not a thing at all.
Okay.
So then he calls you the perfect Alice. That's your name from now on, Alice. Yeah.
I think Ota calling you his dog's name.
I mean, I guess it's better.
It's better, but still.
You have a human name. You're a human this time around.
Yeah. True.
You're still considered a human. So, the Mad Hatter reveals that he bought you this time, and then Isaac and the gang show up. Isaac's pissed off. And so then they have you two come up to, like, the VIP area in the theater, and Isaac's like, "Hey, you are Rena Adachi, right? You started work here today? Today's your first day?" Baba tries to soothe you because, this is scary.
Yeah.
And you realize that everybody you see around you were all people you have seen today. Mad Hatter gives the explanation that they're all auction managers and then introduces them one by one, giving out, like, their official titles, like how Baba's, like, the thief and Ocha's an angelic artist and, etc., etc. Ota calls us commoners. Yeah.
Your bestie is an orphan.
You have no right to say anything.
Exactly.
Not when your bestie's an orphan.
Exactly.
Don't cancel me. Orphans can be rich too.
Yeah.
Look at Batman. So you hear that Mamoru is a detective, and you thought Kishi would save you.
Oh, you dumbass.
Yeah, Kishi's not saving anybody.
No.
He's here.
He's just there. He doesn't even want to be there. He's just.
Oh my god, set him. No. So Isaac cuts him off in the middle of his Hatter's speech about who's everybody is and tell all, because he was telling everything. Like, bro.
That's how you can really tell he's a basement dweller. Because the moment he gets to talk, he doesn't shut up.
Yeah, all he was doing was rambling. Shit, shut up. So Isaac calls Hatter out for convincing the dude to put you up for auction, and he knew that the Hatter always intended to put you up for auction ever since he locked eyes with you when you came into the auction the first time.
Oh, he wanted you bad. That's creepy. No, thank you. No, thank you.
When you came into the auction with the crowd, yeah, he saw you and was like, "You're perfect. I'm going to have you." And he intended to get you sold after that, so you could be his.
No, thank you. I'm good.
And after he gets called out, Hatter's like, "Yes, and."
Not him pulling an Ariana Grande. Not the yes and.
Yes, and.
Okay,
and Isaac's
improv king over here.
Isaac's just here like, well, guess that's that.
What, Isaac? Mister, I never let anything go. He looks at this basement dweller and he's like, she's yours. Sorry. You got it.
So that's when you get told that Isaac owns a hotel and these men won't let you live. Because they're like, I don't understand what you see in her, but, have at it. Whatever. Isaac's over here like, I don't see much. I don't see much here, but that's where the screenshots were, where you were being insulted. Yeah. And you were like, I just got sold at auction and now y'all are insulting me.
To deserve that this time.
No. You didn't even talk to them like that.
They just went after you. My gosh.
Other times you were just yapping and they had a reason to say this. This was all unprompted.
Yeah, this was just them looking at you and seeing that the Hatter wanted you and then being like, gross. Disgusting. I hate everything. Hate. Yep,
so now you're the housekeeper of the Hatter's tea room. You are looking to Isaac for help, and he's just glaring at you as he always does, because, what other expression does he have?
He doesn't. That's it. That's his, excuse me, only expression.
Baba claims that Isaac spoils Hatter too much, and you realize you were bought by Crazy Town.
The cosplay didn't tell you that? Him referring to himself as the Mad Hatter didn't tell you that?
Bro, when you see a man who's caked up in white face paint, where you can't even tell what ethnicity he is.
It says something.
And then speaks in rhymes and riddles. Yeah,
with
no.
Crazy ass hair.
That man is fucking crazy. So, after that little conversation, he's skipping as he drags you down to the basement. You're going to the basement, which he calls Wonderland. You see why I stopped after chapter 2.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
You feel a little bit crazy.
Yeah, are we still reading the same story?
Yes. So when you go in, you see what you're thinking. You're thinking these are like realistic stuffed animals sitting at the table. Nope. They're people with realistic like animal heads on. They're of the March Hare and the Doorbells.
I stand by what I said. Why? Who are they? Why are they there?
Because I remember none of this when reading this. I just remembered he was a basement dweller. Boy. I was like, what is this?
What?
Oh, you're scared. And then this man goes on about being the prisoner of your love and you being his Alice and you guys meeting was fate. So you're in the basement. You're like, I don't know what's real and what's not real anymore. Reality is already slipping. Understandable. Very understandable.
Yeah, I don't know anymore either.
Like, when you're the most reasonable person here, yeah.
This is honestly the craziest part is that you're the most reasonable person here. That's like this can't be the same story. This isn't bought by the Baddest Bidder. This is just some fever dream.
Yeah, but you know, his pet cat Cheshire brings you back to reality, and you're like, yeah, what the fuck?
Who are the two people dressed animals?
So Hatter tells you that,
Right?
huh?
The cat's an actual cat, right?
Yes, the cat's an actual cat.
Okay. Just take the cat and go sit in the corner. It's the safest and probably most sane option.
So, you're now a cat sitter too. A cat sitter to a fat ass cat.
Well, I'm not gonna body shame the Cheshire cat.
Or as Baba would say, a voluptuous cat. Did you not see those screenshots yet?
I don't think so. I haven't seen your newer ones because I saw the link you sent me and I immediately got on.
Yeah. So you just kind of go along with this. I mean, like, what else? I mean, I had the options to not go along with it, but I was like, it's better to just go along with this
Than to fight it.
You don't fight crazy.
No. Didn't you learn that from Mamoru's route?
You don't fight crazy people. You just go along with them until you can leave.
Yeah. My gosh. Okay.
So you go along with the crazy man fantasies, and the dormouse and the March Hare are like, okay, time's up, deuces, and then they leave.
Who are they? Okay.
And now you're even more scared because you're alone with this man.
Did he
And he starts hugging you.
That's what it's coming off as. He's scheduled to play, like Izuku scheduled a play date for him, and the time ran out.
Yeah, so now you're alone with Hatter, and then he starts hugging you, and you're like, oh my god, am I a sex slave? Because, you know, he was mentioning a prisoner of love earlier.
What?
But
wait. In this route, it's filled with love. Did that anything off for you?
Hey, I'm starting to think Mamoru was right about you being a child. So yeah, you think you're about to be a sex slave, and then Hatter's like, well, good night, and goes to his room. He tells you have the guest room, that you can go sleep in there. Yeah.
And that's it?
Yeah, your surprise crazy sleeps. So that's the end of chapter 1.
That was just chapter 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Episode 2.
Yay!
So you wake up depressed, and when you go outside to the living room, the ceiling has changed to mimic a sunny day in the forest. Yeah, he has like his ceiling changes depending on like the supposed time of day.
Tell me you're a hermit without telling me you're a hermit.
And then, as you saw, he has the painted roses on the wall, and like there's like a giant table in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
For tea parties. Yeah, it's fucking weird. I actually, you know, I can't run. You can't run, obviously. So, you're wondering, like, what are you supposed to clean? And then you realize, no one's here. You can leave.
No one's there?
Yeah, no one's in the room. You're just in the living room by yourself. So you're like, I can leave. I can go. But as soon as you're about to start leaving, Hatter opens up the door. So then you're like, damn, stuck. He comes out asking you if you had good dreams. And you're like, yeah.
Totally, buddy.
Totally. And then he starts going on about nonsense about how his dreams and like how fish were like land people and land people were fish, and I don't know what the fuck. It was some crazy ass nonsense. I was not writing that shit down. So then you have to make breakfast. Tea is breakfast. All we get for breakfast is tea.
Why?
And you're like, I'm gonna die living with this man.
For real though.
He's living off of tea and delusion.
Tea and delusion. Oh my gosh. You're really gonna die living with that man.
So you get some tea packs, and in the afternoon, the March Hare and the Dormouse come back. Yep, they're back.
I don't want them back. They can go away.
So then the Hatter takes you into his private collection of illegal shit
Oh, okay.
that he buys at the auction and tells you like to pick stuff out to decorate for their tea party. Because you guys are all having a tea party together.
Okay.
Then Hatter goes into poet/auctioneer mode and starts describing everything you pick up because he wants you to describe it at first, but then he's like, you're doing it wrong. So then everything you pick up, he just starts describing it himself and then makes you to make up your own descriptions. Basically, he's doing majority of this work right now, and you're just kind of there.
Okay.
The Tea Party gang pops up. Dormouse and the Hatter, March Hare, come in, start taking things out for the tea party. They weren't asked. They just started doing it.
They want to get out of there as soon as possible.
They start setting up for the party. So you leave because you have to go find Cheshire. So you get to get out the basement to go find her, and put on her little striped outfit for this tea party. She scratches you, and you finally have a mental breakdown because you're like wondering why this happened to you. Why is this your life now?
You know, this is the first time where I'm like, okay, yeah, it makes sense to have a mental breakdown right now.
I totally understand her feelings, but at the same time, I was still here like, you did this to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna try and find an excuse for her, but she's the one who just wandered into the auction. Following.
You did this to yourself in a way. You didn't. You did this to yourself in an Isaac level. Not at this level.
It's. Yeah.
I'm very much more understandable to saying this is your fault when it comes to everybody else. But I feel bad saying it's your fault you're in this situation when it comes to this situation.
Yeah, because it's different. It's different than the other situation.
Yeah, you're not even you're not even really allowed to go upstairs. Yeah.
What the hell? He's trying to force you to be a basement dweller like him.
So, Hatter finds you while you're crying, and then he's like, your tears are not pretty, stop crying.
He really is Isaac's child, isn't he?
He also tells you they look like fake diamonds or cheap pearls. And then gives you a disgusted look and drags you back to the basement.
I'd be throwing hands. I'd be so mad. I'd be like, listen.
So, you guys are back in the basement, and you're like, this creepy setup looks even worse with all these, illegal shit put up as decorations. And he's playing some creepy carnival music with this artificial forest landscape.
You're just waiting for Pennywise to pop up.
This man is Pennywise. He is the Pennywise of this house.
Oh no. He eats the children.
So then the food, you guys have food. They're strange colors. And they look poisonous. And they're shaped like worms, bugs, insects, all that. And
up.
The other two men, they just silently eat, and Hatter's just having a blast. He's talking about how great the tea party is. And you just wish you were somewhere else.
Yeah, okay.
The next day, you start missing fresh air, and the tea room is like, wait, hold up. Yeah, this is right. So then you're wanting fresh air, because it's been 2 days since you saw the sun, or air, or other people other than these weirdos. And yeah, the tea room, when you go into the living room, completely empty. And the Hatter's just sitting at the table, expressionless and silent.
Nah, I'm running. He's gonna murder me. That's a
secret chapter number 1.
No, that's a murder.
Sweet. This is the sweet secret chapter. This is what you get for being so obedient and good. And just going along with his fantasies.
He got mad at you for crying.
So, you realize all the decorations. These are not decorations. These are shit you just bought out of illegal auction, but whatever. All the decorations are missing. And so then the auction managers bust in. Isaac runs straight to Hatter, and Baba flirts with you. So Isaac starts chastising Hatter like a child, and he's like, "This is why you shouldn't bring in strange people. Stranger danger. Stop bringing strangers into this house."
Oh my gosh. Dang.
This is what happens when you bring in strangers. You get robbed.
My gosh.
When I say he comes in like a dad, he comes in like an angry dad.
He really does. Like, man is going for his throat.
So the rest of the guys are checking the place out because he got robbed.
Yeah.
And then Hatter starts going on about having to find a new hare and dormouse, and Ota calls him crazy. Sori mentions that man has too much clown makeup on and must be sleeping through his brain. Mamoru's like, his home reflects his personality. Isaac's just pissed off. He doesn't try to stop the man.
He called him empty.
You're silently pleading for freedom to Isaac, and then Isaac turns his glare onto you, like you're at fault here, and tells you to babysit Hatter, and if something happens to call him immediately. Yes.
Okay.
This is where we are.
Okay.
I mean, at least we get to see Isaac as like a parent figure.
I don't know if I like it.
I'm just sitting here like, is this how you would be with your teenage child?
It's funny because Soru's, like, slight comment is like a disappointed mother just watching a father take over. He's just over here like, and meanwhile Isaac is fucking dumbass.
I'm just sitting here wondering, why did you let this man let strangers into the house?
If you knew they were coming in, why did you allow it? Why didn't you check who they were?
My God.
And the fact that the Hatter is literally just sitting there accepting his punishment, like an in trouble child, just sitting at the table like, do I get my
and then Isaac,
do I get my Xbox back?
because the thing is, he's just like, he takes the lecture, but then he's like, I need to go find a new dormouse and a new March hare. You were just robbed.
And his main concern isn't getting back everything that he wasted his money on. No. It's getting friends.
Yeah. So then Isaac's like, if you run, you owe me $20 million.
Wait, so did he pay for her and just give her to the Hatter?
I don't know what that arrangement is.
Can you imagine? He just gives in to the Hatter's whims and pays for everything that the Hatter wants and then scolds him on it.
I mean, I don't know where else he's getting this money from.
Yeah, there's no way for him to get the money otherwise.
I mean, technically, since he is an auctioneer, the money's Isaac's anyways.
Yeah, so I don't know. Isaac has to be paying for this stuff.
Yeah, Isaac also mentioned that if you weren't put up for auction, you might have died, and that the Hatter saved you, and that you should be grateful you're alive.
Thank you, Hatter. Thank you so much.
And Sora has to chime in to explain what Isaac means. Sora tells you that the man who was selling the statue was a mafia boss, and that he's, like, ruthless. And dealing with a crazy man is better than being tortured to death.
I think they're about the same. I don't know if one is better than the other.
In my mind, one is not better than the other. Especially not in this situation.
I'm struggling to see how this one is one of your favorites so far.
It gets better.
I sure hope so.
Trust the process.
Trust the process. The process.
Because I sure in hell wasn't trusting the process. Because after this chapter, I was like, I'm done. I don't know if I can handle this.
Gosh, okay.
So now you're wondering if the Hatter is actually a bad person. Hatter comes out after it gets dark and sees that you cooked. Because you cooked regular food. You cooked some fish, miso soup, food.
Mm-hmm. Stuff with...
And stuff you would actually eat. So then he's like, is this a special occasion? What's the reason for you cooking? Because I'm hungry?
Because I need food?
So you tell him it's nothing day, and he brightens up, and he's like, yay! He walks up to you, stares into your eyes, and he asks you if you will always stay by his side, and you just tell him yes.
Okay, yeah. Because it's safer to go along with crazy.
Yeah. Episode 3. These episodes feel so long because I'm just here like I don't know what the fuck is going on.
They really do. They feel like they're just dragging on. Also, like, I feel like this man has some childhood trauma if he thinks that getting regular food is only for special occasions.
I mean, I understand why it's dragging because you're like trying to separate reality and
Yeah, like you're
from his.
going so many different places that it's like trying to find a common ground is nearly impossible.
Because I mean, like a lot of this is like this is how the mind of a basement dweller thinks.
And if it is, how the hell are we going to deal with the rest of this?
Yeah. So several days later, you're at the auction theater, and Ocha and Baba pull up, plus Sanajima and Ryosuke, and you find out about the ice dragons and who they are. And you're surprised that Ryosuke and Sanajima are young. Like, you're like, they're too young to be mobsters. Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
Whatever you say, girl.
So they're like, why are you hiding behind the curtain? So they pull off the curtain, and, you're in an Alice outfit. Like, the traditional frilly Alice outfit.
I mean, like, slay, but I doubt you wanted to be in it.
Yeah. So, I mean, Hatter made you wear it. And, of course, you get teased, and they start laughing their asses off at you. You are now Hatter's assistant for the night. Sha and Baba are suspicious of that because they're like, you seem a little too happy to be, like, working at an auction you got sold at just, like, 2 days ago or a week ago, however long you've been in the basement already. You're starting to like Hatter because he reminds you of a friend that, like, once upon a time was, like, into, like, rock artist, glam rock artist, and he has, like, a whole bunch of charisma on stage, and you're into it.
Okay, groupie.
Yeah. So after the auction, you get kidnapped by a whole bunch of his fucking groupies.
Now, how does this man have groupies?
I don't know. I told you they were thirsty. I don't know what they're
They
thirsting
were
over.
The fact that okay, yeah, okay.
Because I'm like, what are you thirsting over? This man looks weird.
Looks like he has no nose. How are you? Okay, Voldemort lovers, like that's what you're looking at right there. I doubt with the stage lights that you can see he has a nose. His face is probably as reflective as me at this point. Like that's how white he is with that paint. What are y'all doing? Okay, anyways, my
They're rich.
little rant is done.
Rich people have weird taste.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're just jealous and bitter that you're Alice. So they start ripping off your dress like Cinderella.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're having your little Cinderella moment. Hatter catches this, and they leave after he tells them he doesn't like when people touch his shit. Very Isaac.
Yeah. Are we sure they're not related? Like the Hatter isn't like some secret younger brother that Isaac was just thrown into taking care of?
Yeah, man doesn't like his shit being touched by other people. So then he takes you back to the dungeon.
Sex! Sorry.
I stopped calling it a basement, it's now a dungeon.
The dungeon. When I hear dungeon and I hear man taking back to a dungeon, I think a sex dungeon. Probably because of all my serial killer podcasts. However, what else am I supposed to think?
I mean, it's not a sex dungeon. It's more of a crazy house, but yeah.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah. The next day, Mamoru comes to visit as you're cleaning up, and he's trying to file a theft report and needs Hatter's passport. So, yeah, he has a passport.
He doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't even have a passport. Do I need a passport?
If you ever want to leave the country.
Oh, that's a later thing. Anyways, why does he have a passport?
He has a passport.
You know what? If he's gonna be a basement dweller, he can't have a passport.
Hatter gives him a fake passport, a Wonderland passport.
Oh.
Of course.
Of course.
So, that ends up in a nonsensical argument between them two because Mamoru was like, stop playing games with me. I need your real passport. I'm trying to file. I'm trying to do my job for once.
And Hatter thinks it's a game.
Yeah. And you're like, this man can't have a serious conversation. I don't know why you're even trying.
That's bad when you're the one who... Okay.
So Mamoru notices that you're pale. And he's like, are you good? Are you okay? And then calls Hatter out for like not letting you see the sunlight and having you stuck in the basement. And he's like, bro, you've been letting her out, right? She's been allowed to see the sun, right? And then you get outside privileges. You're now allowed to go outside at least once a day, but you have to stay on hotel premises.
Better than nothing.
Which I don't think it's that bad because you know all the shit they have in this hotel.
Yeah, it's a huge hotel. It's not bad.
Yeah. So, you both also find out that this man has not been outside in 4 years. Yeah, you and Mamoru are both like, what the fuck?
4 years? My gosh.
I find it so funny that Mamoru is your saving grace to the outside world.
It's honestly crazy.
So Mamoru takes you upstairs to the lobby so you can get some sunlight, and you're just here like, oh my god, sunlight. It feels so nice, so rejuvenating.
Poor thing.
Episode 4.
Woo!
So Sekio sees you two together, sees you, and then you go get lunch with her, and you're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
You're starved. You barely ate regular food down in the basement, so you're trying to eat everything right now. You're trying to pack up.
I don't blame you.
Chisato ends up joining you guys, and you tell them that you're working the tea room, which shocks them. Erika shows up and she gets pissy, and she's like, how did you get the legendary tea room? And then she claims that you got it from tricking people, and then stomps off.
On your first day?
I guess.
Okay, girly.
The tea room is Trustbait's mystery room. It's one of the mystery wonders of the hotel. And it's also called the Hidden Spades room.
Okay.
I hate that I'm finding out this lore about this damn hotel.
With the big
like 6 routes in, and I'm just now finding out this lore.
The names of the rooms and how they all play together.
Exactly. So you plan to tell Hatter about the meteor shower because the girls told you about it because they're like, you can do this on your day off since you just like to laze around on your days off. He's holding interviews when you get back.
Okay.
Yeah. He's holding interviews for a new dormouse and a new hair.
Oh my gosh.
You notice all these men are shady as hell. You're like, who are all these random men up in here? And it tells you he put out an ad on Craigslist.
It's bad when the person making me cringe this much isn't even the MC. What are you doing?
Yes. So, yeah, Craigslist ad. All these shady individuals are from Craigslist. And he's already asking them weird questions. He's like, what do you like to do in your free time? Do you find yourself to be someone who likes to sleep a lot? Those are the type of interview questions he's asking. What are your hobbies? Is sleeping your hobby?
What is wrong with him? Where's Aizuk? Aizuk needs to get down there and scold him again.
You're shocked that this is happening right now because you're like, what the fuck? Why are you doing this after just getting robbed? You were just robbed a few days ago. So you end the interviews right then and there, and Hatter gets mad at you because you just kicked out all these men.
What did he expect you to do, honestly?
And you remind him that Isaac said no more strange men, and he'll get mad.
You really are a babysitter. Isaac is really his dad.
So then he throws a tantrum, and you just laugh at him because he's having a little tantrum. And then you're like, hey, I know what will make you feel better. You want to go see the meteor shower? And he's like, yeah. And then you're like, but you have to go outside, and then he freaks out.
Does he have like agoraphobia or something?
Mm-mm.
He can't have agoraphobia. He invites strange men in his house.
I mean, he did a whole interview with a whole bunch of strange men. Yeah, he freaks out and then changes the subject and then turns off all the lights, and you get to look at the pretty sky. His little stars that he has on the wall, on the ceiling. You realize this man is just lonely, and you start feeling bad for him.
Yeah, I figured that was coming. Because man is trying to buy friendship.
Yeah, he was paying them. He was going to pay them to be the dormouse and the March hare.
I figured.
So, episode 5. One day, Hatter wants you specifically, to make Yorkshire pudding, and you give in to his demands because peer pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You go upstairs to go figure out what Yorkshire pudding is, and you actually thought Yorkshire pudding was dog pudding. This is
Like
your dumb moment.
breed Yorkshire, or like the dog breed Yorkshire.
Yeah, like Yorkies.
I didn't know they had a long name. I thought that because my grandma has a Yorkie poo. It's an ugly little thing.
Yeah. You realize that's not right. That would be a little too weird, even for this man, to have dog pudding.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the ingredients in his food, even though they look like bugs and shit, they're made from like real ingredients, human ingredients. They just look horrible. So Baba comes up to you and he's like, "Are you still good? Are you still sane? Are you okay?"
We love Baba.
And you're like, "Yeah, I'm still sane." And Baba's like, "I couldn't do it. You do you, girl."
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a sexual joke / compliment, where he calls you a strong girl.
20s.
Yeah. I was like, is that a compliment? Is this not? I don't.
Is it a compliment? Is it objectifying? There's a fine line Baba likes to play.
You never know.
Gosh.
So Baba doesn't know what Yorkshire pudding is, so he decides to take you to Isaac instead. So you guys are going on a quest to see Isaac to figure out what Yorkshire pudding is.
Yay, side quest. Woo.
Everyone's in the lounge as always because, no one ever goes and does their actual job. Isaac's surprised you want to talk to him because he's like, she wants to talk to me.
He's like, who let her in? Who let her upstairs?
Who let the commoner in here? I mean, he's irritated too and sassy about it.
Of course, of course.
Because he's like, who do you think you are wanting to ask me a question?
Okay, Spice Girls.
So, I mean, you then ask him about what Yorkshire pudding is, and after, he puts his glare on you, he explains what the dish is and what it pairs with, which he's like, it pairs nicely with roast beef. Make some roast beef. He even sends you the recipe, too.
I guess he knew that the Hatter wanted it.
Yeah. And then you're like, because you're reminded, because Hatter tells you that Yorkshire pudding is from his home country.
Where the hell is it from?
And so you ask Isaac about it, since Isaac obviously knows what Yorkshire pudding is. And he tells you it's English, that it's an English dish.
So is he English, or is he really just encompassing the Hatter?
I mean, he's actually English. That's his home country.
Okay.
Yeah. That explains the passport to you.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So, yeah. After that, you make him the food, and then as you're like sitting eating, you're sitting there just trying to figure out if this man is a white man.
I mean, in all technicality, if you take a look at the amount of paint he puts on, if your paint is on, he is technically a white man.
You're like, is this a white man? Is he Asian? I can't tell. So then you ask him where he grew up, and he goes into shock. Yep.
Into shock?
Mm-hmm. He goes into shock.
Oh, into shock.
Yeah.
I thought you said in space to shock, and I was like, what the fuck is to shock?
No, he goes into shock, and then he just leaves.
What the fuck did you do? You broke it.
So later on that night, you wake up at like dawn to go get some water, and you hear the shower turn off because there's like only one shower.
Okay.
Yeah. So the shower turned off, and you're like, oh, I get to see what his real face looks like.
You are one sneaky bitch.
You call out to him at first because you're like, who's in the shower? But then you have that realization that you can go see his face.
Okay.
Yeah, that you can see what he looks like. So then you just kind of wait by the bathroom door, and when he comes out, you're in shock.
Oh, because he's hot?
Because you're like, this is a young guy with black hair. He's half naked in front of you. You're confused because he's hot and looks like a regular person. No blue eyes and blue hair. No ghastly white skin. this man is just sexy.
You're bad all of a sudden.
Yeah, you're just like, what the fuck is this? So, after that little staring contest, he shyly asks you why you're up. Mind you, the real him is super reserved and super shy. He asks you why you're up, and then, you tell him you just want a glass of water. So he gets you your glass of water. He's still only in a towel. And then he runs off to his room.
He's cute. I see the appeal.
And you don't want to see makeup-free Hatter again, because that wasn't comfortable for you. Yeah. Now that I did the little sing-songy voice, let me say that the Hatter talks in a sing-songy voice all the time.
All the time?
Yeah. So that's also something you don't get to hear from Rhion. Yeah. Could you imagine somebody always talking like this? No, fuck that.
I wouldn't talk to them. Ever.
So you're having your little Belle moment where you're mad that he's, hot.
Not the Belle moment.
You're like, I don't like this man in his human form. Because you're like, the Hatter form, that is much, much more comforting. I don't like this. Episode 6.
Yippee.
The next morning, well, it's not the next morning because it's the same day, but so I guess later on that day, you're about to ask him about what happened that morning, and he rushes out. He rushes you out the tea room to the storage room. And you learn that the IVC is a front for the auction. Why didn't you get me anything? Rude. You learn that the IVC is a front for the auctions.
Mm-hmm.
And you start to feel sick. I don't know how you're just now figuring out that it's a front for the auctions, but you know.
Because you're dumb?
Yeah, this is one of your dumb moments. You're a lot smarter. I'm just reiterating, you're a lot smarter than you are in other storylines, but you still have your moment.
I'm also glad that there are still a few dumb moments, because that, reminds me, yeah, we're in the same story, we're in the same everything, it's just a little different. But this one's a lot different.
It brings you back to earth of where we're at.
Yes.
So, you're kind of still on the fact that this man is pretty and delicate without his makeup on. And you cannot accept that these two men are the same person. It's not computing.
Snuck someone in to pretend to be him?
So, he's making you pick out and describe shit again for another tea party that you two are going to have together. And you try to ask him again about the whole stuff that happened this morning. And he drops a goblet. He drops a glass goblet on accident. So then he's like, I gotta erase this shit from the auction before Isaac finds out and gets mad.
So he just takes it? He doesn't buy it?
He broke it!
Well, this is legit stuff for the auction later. And he just holds on to it and then steals it and then uses it for a tea party and puts it back? I'd be so mad if I spent 20 grand on a goblet just to find out someone else's lips had just been on it. Some basement dweller painted white. I'd be pissed. I'd be like, oh.
And I'm just sitting here, Isaac has to know this is going on. You can't tell me that he does not know.
He's gotta know. It really feels like a father who lets his son get away with anything he wants as long as he follows very specific rules.
So later that day, you get called up by Isaac to the VIP room in the theater. And it's just to go over the list. He doesn't find out that Hatter broke the vase. Luckily, because you would have been the one in trouble for it, not him.
Yeah, because you're the one babysitting him.
Exactly. So, Emery kind of checks on you because he's like, are you good? You're going outside, you're getting your fresh air, and you're not dying?
Why is Isaac treating Hatter like his son, and Memoru's treating you like his daughter? Why are they all parents and then crazy uncles? Ota is the uncle who just doesn't want to be associated with any of the family, but is forced to be there. And Baba is the weird, who's somewhat comforting, and it's really weird.
And then Soru's just a detached mom.
Yeah.
I mean, I would also consider Isaac to be the wine mom as well.
They're just two moms trying to get by with their crazy ass son.
Because Isaac will sit up there and just sip his wine, have his feet crossed, his legs crossed, and just be like, yeah, this is happening. So yeah, you learn that Hatter actually does all the background info on all the auction items, and he actually helps Isaac organize like how they showcase the items and like what goes on when and how they're going to present it and all that, and even the theme of like the auction itself.
Wow.
And you're surprised because like Isaac is actually listening to someone that's not himself.
Dang. Dang. Okay.
So then Baba and Mamoru start recounting how great it is to have a woman in the house, especially when you bump into them right after getting out the shower. That's when Ota calls them both pervs. Old pervs at that.
Yep. Okay.
Which, understandable, they're both 30. And Ota tries to get Hatter to agree with them, but Ota breaks Hatter with that.
I don't know if it's because Hatter was thinking of how you caught him out of the shower, or if it's because he's thinking, oh shit, I can catch her out of the shower.
So he's like spacing out and then starts laughing maniacally, and everybody else is like, is he okay?
Oh no.
And then Hatter starts looking for the nearest exit, and he's like, looks like everything's good here, let's go. Drags you back to the basement. So like when you get back to the tea room, you try to ask him again about like what happened this morning, and he denies that it was him.
Bitch!
Then you question who the hell was that man then?
That was just using your shower and ran into your room. Are you gay? Was that
He
your
dodges.
lover?
He dodges and says it might have been the Queen of Hearts minion. And then he tells you not to come out of your room at night because coming out of your room at night is dangerous, and to keep water by your bedside instead.
Damn. Man is mad insecure.
And you're like, ha! I caught you. I caught you in your little lie.
Cause why else would you suggest that?
Because you're like, it had to be you because how did you know I came out of my room because I was thirsty?
Why are you so smart? Concerning.
I mean, I guess when you have crazy, there's no choice but to be smart.
True. True.
You have no other option. I like to consider this one an alternate universe.
That's a good way to think about it. You know what? I agree.
So he has a little small freak out because, you caught him in his lie. I love the gaslighting here.
Oh no.
And after smacking your hand away and feeling bad, he claims the man that you saw was a friend of his, and he's sorry for the man's rude behavior. And the man was only rude to you because he was just embarrassed that you saw him half naked. And you just go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
You go along with this bullshit, and you're like, can I at least know his name? So if I see him next time, I just can't call him hey you or hey naked man.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells you that his name is Rhion Hatter. Secret chapter number 2. So sweet. Hatter puts a do not disturb sign on his door the next day, and you open the door for the cat so the cat can go into his room. And because the cat's so fat,
you have to open.
The room swings open, and you step inside the room, despite you knowing you're not supposed to go into the room.
Mm-hmm.
You stare at Rhion while he's sleeping, and you're wondering why this split personality dude is turning you on. I mean, we were talking about the same thing at the beginning.
Yeah, true. He's attractive, and he shouldn't be.
It's not fair.
It's really not.
You're like, what is this man? Why is he doing it for me? This is weirdo. So you try to get Chesser because she's running around the room, and she ends up going to Rhion and starts licking his face, which wakes him up. You're just standing at the corner on the side of the bed, just standing as still as you can while he wakes up and starts petting his cat and like loving on his cat. The cat looks at you, stares at you, gets up, walks over to you, stops, sits down in front of you, and starts meowing. Which of course is the only reason why he notices you. So you're looking at him, he's looking at you,
that song, and she looked at me.
That's why I said it was the R. Kelly meme. You look at him, and he looks at me, and I look at him. Basically, that's what that whole thing was. And so after you all are done staring at each other, you start apologizing and bowing to him, and Ryan starts laughing at you because he didn't know you could bend that low.
You
That is just your dirty body.
hear me out?
Yeah, but he's embarrassed because you like saw him wake up, and he's like, "You keep catching me in embarrassing moments. Is this on purpose?"
No.
You are like, no, this is not on purpose. But at the same time, you're like awestruck because he's really hot. You're like, damn, this dude is just hot, and he's got like a soft voice, and you're just into this man.
Yep. Okay. I'm here. I'm listening. I'm hearing.
I mean, if his personality wasn't like fucking insane, yeah.
I mean, but sometimes it can be fun if it's insane.
I mean, yeah. So then you're like, hey, you're Hatter's friend, right? And he's like, yeah. In his little soft, shy voice. And then you're like, can I be your friend?
What are you doing? Can I be your friend?
I feel so weird even saying it because I feel like a child.
Yeah. It definitely comes off as like kindergarten kids just walking up to random people and being like, can I be your friend?
So episode 7. Ryan evades the question. He doesn't really answer, and then you leave the room. And like later on, because it's still not auction day, auction 3 days. So Hatter comes out. He's dressed up as Hatter. He comes out as Hatter. And he's like acting real shy and reluctant, and he's like kind of like, because his real personality is more or less coming out in this moment, because he's like awkward because you saw and actually talked to the real him. So he can't put on his like persona as well as he usually does. But when you call out to him, he puts it back on. But it's like a lot harder for him to like stay in character.
Okay.
And he can't really get into character. So like you guys are like having your little tea session, and Ota busts in angry as hell.
No.
He's like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Why are you here? The auction is up and ready to go, and you're here dawdling? You're just having some afternoon tea? What the fuck?
The auction's not for 3 days.
He ends up freezing up, and Ota has to drag you both out of the room.
Dang.
Yeah. So as the auction goes on, he's doing well. He's doing well in the auction until he hears somebody's phone go off right before the last item is brought out. Ironically, just like my phone going off. So he ends up freezing up, and everybody's like, is this a part of the show? What's going on here? And you decide that you're going to bring out the last item, and that you're going to play auctioneer for the last item.
Okay. Oh, that's nice of you. Okay.
Yeah, so you start auctioning it off with the notes that you got from Hatter when he was talking to Isaac, because you were taking notes. And you're getting a high from being an auctioneer. Don't know. Don't care. Fucking weird.
Y'all were me.
So the gang is like gossiping afterwards because they're like, oh, y'all seem real close. You're covering for him, and y'all are like over here looking into each other's eyes and shit. And they just assume you're dating. And as you guys try to deny it, Isaac's like, his head is pointing down to the fact that you guys are holding hands.
Fuck. Y'all are trying to deny it while you're holding hands?
Yeah. So, you guys go back to the tea room, and things are kind of awkward, but he does tell you Rhion will be your friend.
I don't know why I find this so sweet.
It was so sweet and endearing when I read it too. Episode 8. The morning after you wake up to Rhion playing with Cheshire outside. Like, he was up early before you, and you're like surprised because you're like, I wasn't expecting you to be here, especially not you without makeup. And for breakfast, he wants a sandwich. Real food. And you're just like coming to terms to the fact that he's a man, that he's got masculine hands, and they're crap how rough his hands are, and it's just like how they're not silky smooth like this, like the gloves, and I'm just here like, okay.
Not the hands getting her. Not the hands. Listen, hands are a killer. They got her. She's gone. She's gone. Any grasp on reality she had, it's gone now.
Because this man is like super affectionate and touchy. He's like always holding your hand. Like he was like rubbing his hands all down your shoulders. Yeah. Man is affectionate and touchy when he's like Rhion, when he's himself. As a hatter, he's not affectionate and touchy at all. So you were gone. You were a goner.
She's gone. Rest in pieces.
Deuces.
I pray that the dick is good and that days are fulfilled.
So you're just now realizing that this man has an unbalanced diet? Which, I don't know how you're just now realizing this shit.
I don't
know. And,
eating bugs didn't tell you that? I know they weren't real bugs, but they looked like bugs.
This is gonna get real Haiti towards a moment. For a moment, my American pride is about to be showing, and I don't like America as it is. But British people don't have balanced diets anyways.
You know, you're not wrong. Have you seen the shit they eat?
Where are your vegetables?
Literally.
Do y'all even know what vegetables are?
It's just sometimes meat and a starch. Like, how do y'all survive?
Like, of course this man has a shit diet. He's English. I've seen your Chinese food.
I have not, but I trust her.
Like, who has curry sauce? Curry sauce with French fries.
With French fries.
This is my contribution to the British/American food debate on TikTok. Yeah, it won't be on TikTok, so I won't get canceled there, at least.
But it will be on our podcast,
and you can't comment there.
Yeah.
Until I post it all on YouTube.
And then we just pray.
Yeah, we'll deal with them when we deal with it. So yeah. He also doesn't like bitter vegetables or cold vegetables.
Listen, I'd rather eat cold broccoli than hot broccoli, and cold carrots than hot carrots.
I mean, I like both. I just prefer not to have mushy carrots.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. Most hot carrots end up mushy and I can't stand it.
Oh, yeah, no.
And then, like, I don't like cooked broccoli because it tastes funny. I have to have it with, like, some sort of sauce. That's why I like Thai food, because I like the sauces they use. We have a really good Thai place in town.
So you decide to make panini so he can have some warm vegetables and warm tomatoes and cucumbers with his food. His sandwich, his ham and cheese sandwich.
Tomatoes and cucumbers?
Yeah.
Where's the lettuce?
I don't know.
Where's the sauce? I don't know, like, anything else, like the condiments.
You got cheese. So, your idea to make paninis instead, he claims that this idea is almost better than Edison's, which, cough cough, more like Edison's slave's idea, because we know Edison didn't actually think of any of that shit, but whatever.
None of his ideas were his ideas.
Yes.
So for those of you who are uneducated, Thomas Edison is a liar.
So, the panini press is, like, on the top shelf. That man just grabs your waist and just lifts you up with ease. If you weren't gone, you are now.
We're cloud 9 and above. If there's like a cloud 10, they're there. That's where we are. Cloud 10. Cloud 11, cloud 100. I don't care what cloud we're on. We're on a good cloud.
You get the panini press. He sets you back down. You're, like, embarrassed. And he's like, so you're embarrassed? And then he starts dancing. He dances around the kitchen with you? Yeah.
This man, he needs to calm down. We cannot be falling for.
This is the moment where I was like, I'm done. You have me. This is the best story ever.
Had me. I need to keep trying.
I was like, this is the best story ever.
Mm-hmm. Goodbye,
Soru. Goodbye, Isaac. This is my man now.
Yeah, this our only man. This is him. Nope.
Yeah, he's dancing with you in the kitchen. He was like, did you have fun? And you're like, oh my god, that was so much fun. And you're into him he's been taking charge this whole time. And you're like, I'm really into it. I'm really into him taking charge in these moments.
Okay.
And you kind of realize that, like, they're both, Hatter and Rhion are, like, the same, which we know. But personalities are the same. It's just, like, it feels different because it's more of a persona that he puts on. Man has a cat toy for you and uses you as a demonstration to show Cheshire how she should be getting her cat toys because she's too fat and she needs to be put on a diet.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute. I was just rooting for him. I was just saying,
Homegirl, home. Cheshire is too slow, and he's like, "You need to get on a diet.
dang,
You're a little too fat."
dang. He's body shaming his cat.
No, he goes on this whole rant. He's like, "This is why you're fat. All you do is eat, and you only take walks when you want to take walks. You don't do any exercise."
Dang.
And I'm like, "You had the audacity to say this to your cat, but look at you. You've been living in this basement for 4 years."
Gosh.
So you go upstairs. I think you go upstairs to your meeting because you have an afternoon meeting with everybody, and you kind of wonder how long you'll be forced to stay with Rhion, and you don't really want to leave, but you're like, I'm still technically a prisoner.
Yeah.
So after your meeting, you're in the lobby, and you're like looking outside, and you see a guy who's identical to Rhion, but he's blonde and blue-eyed, and you're like, is that? No, he doesn't go outside.
I love how that's the thing for you. It's not that like he could change his appearance. No, it's he's outside.
Nope. So episode 9, you get Hatter when you come back. So he's the one who's there, not Rhion anymore.
Mhm.
And you remember about the auctions. You remember those exist.
You were really in a fairy tale land. It was really Wonderland for you.
Yeah. You ask Rhion if he has a twin, which he freaks out a little bit about you asking about him having a twin, and he's like, "No, Rhion does not have a twin." Gaslighting.
Mm-hmm.
This man is like top tier for gaslighting. He's just bad at it.
Yeah, like if he had a little more experience with it, I feel like he'd be like 10 out of 10 Izook level. But
He tries so hard, but fails so badly.
yeah.
Like, not even you are taking the bait for his gaslighting.
And that says something.
He needs to learn from the queen of gaslighting. Izook!
Yeah, literally. Go take a lesson from your dad. Go on, buddy. Ask your dad. Or your wine.
So, I mean, yeah. You can even ask Soru. Soru's better.
Amazing at it. He just doesn't say anything.
He's so honest. Soru's just like an honest dude.
He is. He's straight up.
All you have to do is be like, hey, tell me the truth. He'll just say nothing.
Yep. And then you have your answer.
Yep. That's your answer for the day, and you just have to go on with life.
Mm-hmm.
So, Rhion's been coming out more and more, and you realize that's when you have like the whole realization that Hatter and Rhion are the same, and that they both are like, they like the same things. Which obviously,
They're the same.
they both like pretty things, having fun, and they both like to just like be in their little delusional wonderland. They both don't like ugly things, bitter vegetables, and, reality.
Okay.
And you're like, oh, so Hatter is who he is, but at the same time, he is this person as well.
Yeah. Gosh, if my face doesn't stop itching, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I find the story to be really good with, like, having, like, the whole storyline of, like, accepting a person for who they are.
Yeah, because it's her slowly, like, coming to the realization, like, this is just who he is, and honestly, he's great even with these contributions of his personality.
Yeah. It feels a lot more real.
Yeah.
The other ones do feel real at some points, but at the same, except Mamoru. Mamoru just feels creepy.
Yeah. Very much so.
Yeah, and then Ota does not. Ota feels horrible. You're a dog for majority of that.
And even by the end, you're still at times a doll.
Yeah, but this feels like more real.
Mm-hmm.
So, Rhion decides that he's going to like throw out a whole bunch of his shit because he's like, I'm done with this. I don't need this anymore. You also come to a realization that the time that you're spending with Rhion isn't permanent, and that someday it's going to end. So while you're throwing out Rhion's trash, his rubbish, you run into Izook because he's in the auction theater for whatever reason. And you look at him, he looks at you, and he's glaring at you as he always does because he's like, why are you here?
Mm.
Why are you living? Why do you have the audacity to breathe the same air as me?
Literally, it's like a father who hates his son's girlfriend at this. He's like, I just want you dead, but like, don't hurt my son.
So then, like, he notices the junk that's on the in the box, and he's like, "Is this junk his junk?" And you're like, "Yeah." So then he starts rummaging through the junk,
Isaac,
which is something I never thought Isaac would do.
no, like I'm honestly surprised that he did that because he doesn't. This is the same man who won't touch people because he thinks they're trash.
I mean, Isaac also says that Rhion still has shit penmanship, and I mean, like, he's going through the box. He sees the book. He sees a book in the trash and picks it up, and you're like, you can't read that. That's Ryan's trash. That's his personal stuff. Isaac's like, that man has no privacy when it comes to me. Privacy? What is that? I know everything about that man.
Hey, Isaac. Really going into dad mode here. Calm down.
So when he opens up the book to flip through it, a picture falls out, and he tells you to pick it up.
Oh, he knew exactly what was in that book.
So you have to pick it up, and you learn that Ryan's a noble. He's a part of the Duke's Hatters family, so he's a duke. I mean, he's in line to be a duke.
It's giving Bridgerton, and I'm here for it. Sign me up. Give me. Let's go.
So the family has a heart's crest as well.
Mm.
And they really get into the Wonderland theme here.
Yeah. They're diving balls deep.
Yeah. And and Isaac's like, well, since you get to take out his trash, he must really trust you. And you're like, oh my god, he trusts me? And then Isaac's like, I don't care what the hell y'all do as pretend lovers in Wonderland, but stay sane.
No.
Don't go insane.
No promises.
And then he takes the book and starts to leave. You try to get the book back, and he's like, it's rubbish, remember? And leaves.
Dang.
Wow, damn. Isaac really got you with that.
He really did, because, like, what are you supposed to say?
It's his rubbish stuff.
Yeah, one man's trash is another man's treasure, I guess.
Didn't know it'd be Isaac's treasure.
Yeah, a man who wouldn't step foot near a trash can.
Man will have the trash cans wheeled out.
Wheeled in for him to toss something in there. Even then he hands it off to someone else to put in the trash can. And then wheeled out so that he doesn't have to see it once.
So then you take the picture and you try to put it in your room. So because you're supposed to throw it away, and you feel bad because, like, you don't want to throw it away because it's a picture of Ryan's house, but at the same time, he told you it was trash. And you're also just enjoying the sky, the real sky, and the ocean. So you see the twin again, and you call out to him.
Just me and my twin. My twin. Sorry.
He ignores you, and you just start chasing him.
Yes, that's smart. To chase a noble. So smart.
And mind you, you're looking at this man, he's blonde and blue-eyed, and you're just chasing him down. If I saw that, I'd be like, this random Asian lady is attacking this white man.
Okay. She's chasing this white man.
Because I'm just here like, just from like you being far away and seeing that's how it looked.
It does come off as creepy.
Because there's like no context as to you chasing him down except the context that we know.
So outside of that, it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Home Doom doesn't even know why you're chasing him down.
Oh.
He doesn't even see you.
Dang.
So you fall down and twist your ankle, and he turns around and realizes you were talking to him.
Okay.
He didn't even know you were talking to him. He helps you up, though.
Yeah.
He helps you up, takes you to the... he helps you up, and then the photo falls out of your pocket, and he sees it, and he's frozen in shock, and then asks you why you have a picture of his home.
Oh, you're really coming off as a stalker now.
So, bro, like, after he comes out of his moment of shock, he grabs you and starts shaking you, and he's like interrogating you about Rhion. He's like, where is he? Do you know where he is? Do you know him? Do you know this man?
Jesus Christ. I'd be terrified.
So y'all go to the park, and you take his handkerchief because your ankle was bleeding. I thought that was going to be important. It's not important. Maybe it's important like in the other endings. So this bitch name is Alphonse. Yeah. Alphonse Hatter.
Gotcha.
I mean, if I wanted to pick a white name, it would not be that.
Chadifer would have been better than Alpha.
It's really giving 1800s white dude.
It is. It really is.
He goes by Al. It doesn't make it any better.
No, it really doesn't.
So Al has a habit of constantly checking his watch, and then he also wears a white hoodie.
Okay.
Yeah. White rabbit.
Yeah. I was gonna make a Bridgerton joke because I started binge watching it. I only got to season 2 and then I stopped after the first episode. However, I'm gonna still try. But I was gonna make a joke about how it's like, what the hell is the oldest brother's name? Alexander?
I don't know. I don't watch it.
I don't know. I don't remember their names.
I keep saying I'm going to watch it, but then I don't.
It's basically like porn. That's the best thing I can explain it as. It's like porn with some storyline and some drama.
Wow.
There's a lot of sex scenes. It's very uncomfortable for me. But regardless, I was just gonna make a joke that it was like the oldest brother because he constantly checks his wad. After hearing the white hoodie, I was like, oh, okay, I know who it is.
Actually, Rhion's older.
Really?
Yeah, he's the older brother.
Okay then.
I also wrote, them babies are mixed.
The babies are mixed.
Yeah. Because you were asking, why is your Japanese so good? What's that all about? And he's like, my mom's Japanese.
Okay.
And a lot of these stories, you will also have that one half Japanese, half white dude. Most of the time, they're always blonde. And I say that because this is like one of 3 stories I have read where there's just a half white dude.
Isn't there also a half white dude in Oron Academy who's blonde haired and blue eyed?
Yeah, Tamaki.
Yeah. It sounds like a trope.
Just the half white dude.
Just the half white dude who only looks white, really.
Yeah.
And it's just that they can speak another language really, really well. That tells you.
And then, like, I sent you the screenshot where, like, there's a point where he's like, yeah, you're like, yeah, he has to be half Asian. He has those Asian eyes.
Yeah.
He has Asian eyes and, like, hair.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that and I was like, what?
Like, I know damn well the Japanese writers didn't write this.
Mm-hmm.
If they did, I have nothing to say if they did.
Just, wow. But yeah, so she rolled her ankle and somehow made it bleed.
Yeah. Yeah. Where was that? Sounds older, and Alphonse actually lives in England. He's just there looking for Rhion because Rhion dipped 4 years ago, and Al was sent to search for him ever since.
That makes sense. That also makes sense why he just decided to never go outside ever.
Yeah. So, Al starts shaking you again, and, do you know where my brother is?
That's some crazy white boy stuff. Who just randomly shakes a person? Do you know? Tell me what you know.
Alphonse is a more outgoing and blunt one of the two.
Surprised me.
Yeah. You're just like, please back away. Al wants to see his big bro, but Rhion doesn't want to see them because, that man was freaking out when he heard about his brother being in town. So, you tell him that you don't know. And then Al calls out Rhion about him wearing his weird outfits and, like, pretending to be the Mad Hatter and leave.
Dressed and acting like the White Rabbit.
Then he dips out.
Do you think that's why they had him favor the whiter side of his family? So he could really be the White Rabbit.
Please.
Oh, I hate myself.
Because that man is the white one, and then his brother is
Yeah. His brother's a hot one, in my opinion, but
I was about to say he's a white one and the other brother is a black one.
what are we doing? What has this storyline done to us? We're saying everything to get canceled.
Now I can stay in.
Oh no.
The joke will be understood without it.
Well, that hurt.
The storyline brings out the crazy.
Clearly. Okay, but as you were saying, he just walks off after calling his brother weird as fuck.
Yeah. You're still in shock that he has a twin, which, I mean, like, if you randomly start seeing a dude who looks exactly like the man you're in love with, but just with blue eyes and blonde hair, my first thought was, that's a twin.
My first thought was a doppelganger.
Yeah, you did have, like, you thought it was a doppelganger, but you're like, nah, they look too similar for it to be a doppelganger.
Isn't that the point? Like, there's just certain features that are different. I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they don't really have different features. The only, like, I mean,
it's just
Rhion,
blonde hair and blue eyes, which is.
Yeah, dye his hair and put on some blue contacts and they'd be the same.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, so then you start thinking that they should reunite, but then you're like, maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
But as you're thinking that, you smell a fire.
Oh, you good?
Yeah.
It sounded like you expelled a mini demon.
So you smell a fire and you run to the room, and Rhion was trying to make you guys sandwiches. He wanted to surprise you with dinner sandwiches.
Marry him. Put a ring on it. Marry him.
But he burned them on accident in the panini press. Because he was like, I was trying to make these sandwiches, but I saw they weren't done yet, so I turned up the heat a little bit more and put them back on, and then now they're black charcoal lumps. Man, when you walked in, he was looking like a child that just got caught, like, stealing candy. And he was trying to hide the burnt sandwiches.
He's so cute.
Right? So you're like, I don't want Al to take him. I don't want him to take him back to England. And if you had a choice on if you wanted to stay here or not, you would have chose to stay with him. You want to stay, but you realize it would be normal for you to go back to work upstairs and him to go back to England.
Who cares? He's not normal.
And you ask Rhion if he wants to go upstairs, and you're hoping this is a trick. You're playing tricks now. You suddenly decided to level up and start playing tricks with men.
What the hell happened?
Like, you want him to say no, he doesn't want to go upstairs, that he wants to stay here with you. But instead, he says yes. He says yes because you want to go up there. Yeah. And then he also tells you, yeah, I'll go up, but as long as it's in the hotel. We gotta stay in the hotel, honey.
There's a lot to do in the hotel.
Yeah, I mean, you have a whole movie theater, a museum, shopping malls. You have a whole life.
Yeah.
So episode 10. Rhion decides he wants to go to the casino because that's what Isaac took the most pride in when he was, like, constructing the whole hotel. So he wants to go there.
Okay.
You tell him that your friend works there, and he gets jealous, and he's like, is it a boy or a girl? You tell him it's a girl, and he's like, good.
Oh.
Okay, we're good.
That's too cute. Okay.
So Sekio sees you, and Rhion kind of disappears. So she thinks you're there alone, but as soon as she leaves, he comes back. And when he comes back, Baba ends up seeing you both and asks you to play poker until they notice Rhion, but Rhion's, like, regressing into himself, and, you know, he doesn't really want to be around him specifically. Baba thinks he's hot.
Right? He's fun.
He's like, this man is handsome. Where did you find him?
No, because I'm sorry, but if Baba said that, I'd be like, right? Right. Sorry. Right?
Ota thinks he's weak and needs you to protect him.
Yeah, protect him from you. I'm gonna throw hands with you, Ota. Leave my mans alone.
And Soru's like, this is your boyfriend? Invite him over too. He can play poker with us as well. Oh, Soru really became the nice guy around here, and I'm just here like, this is weird.
This is so weird.
I don't like it.
I don't either.
So you all are forced to the poker table to go play poker. Ota tries to bully Rhion, but Rhion went mute. Like, he's trying to ask him for his name. He's trying to be like, hey, talk to me. Basically,
Give my
Ota's
I will
Ota's
fight.
being Ota's being like a piece of shit. So now you're over here trying to argue with Ota and trying to fight Ota for Rhion, and Ota's like, shut up. I'm talking to him.
You know what? Period. Stand up for your man. I am really happy with her this one. Like this one I'm getting behind her with, and it feels like so weird, but I like this. I'm enjoying this.
So Ota ends up making a bet with Rhion that whoever wins gets to take you home tonight.
Bitch. You better be joking.
Isaac shows up. He ignores you. And then he makes small talk with Rhion. And he's like, hey, what you doing up here? Did you want to come up here yourself, or was this her idea?
Damn.
As he glares at you, he's like, did she make you come up here?
Did she hurt you? This bitch.
Of course, Ryan says that he wanted to come up here and he wanted to be here. And he's like, okay, that's fine. Well, have fun. And then, yeah, he's like, you can have fun as long as you win this bet.
Damn.
Okay. Yeah. So then, even though he's like, win the bet, he makes Soru and Baba play as well. Because he was like, it's not going to be fun with just two people. Let's make this a little harder.
Aizu, I thought you liked your son. Calm down.
Aizu kind of gives you Ryan's background about how he's like next in line to become Duke, and that he had strict parents. Fairy tales are his escapism. Isaac also makes you sit next to him while he sits on his little throne and watches and pours himself a glass of wine.
Isaac is so bougie. He really is a wine mom. Like that's, oh my gosh.
And you're worried about Ryan losing, but Aizu starts laughing. He's like, he won't lose. He's not gonna lose. Because I taught him how to play poker.
Damn. They're screwed.
I'm the one who taught him how to play poker.
The best gambler around.
Yeah, Baba and Ota also asked why Isaac isn't playing, and Isaac's like, I'm not playing because that would be boring and I'd win. And I was just here like, yeah, you right.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't want anything to do with you. He just wants his wife Soru.
Man, Isaac really set everybody else up.
He really did. He was like, I want everyone else to lose their money. This is going to be hilarious.
I want everybody else to play. Yeah, and Isaac was also like, also, Ryan doesn't want me playing. And I was like, okay. That's a weird thing to say in front of everybody, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
But as Isaac said, Ryan won with a straight royal flush.
Slay.
They think he cheated because there was like a 0.15% chance. So they all think he cheated. Yeah, they all think he cheated. And they start accusing him of cheating and like making him tell them how he cheated and it's not fair. And then Hatter mode comes out.
Oh dear.
Yeah. He starts laughing at them, starts talking in the sing-songy voice, and they're all like shocked and like a little freaked out.
They really triggered him. Like, leave my man alone.
So, secret chapter, sweet.
Woo.
Secret chapter number 3. So Soru comes out and is like, hey, are you the Mad Hatter? And Ryan confirms, yeah, I am the Mad Hatter. Ota is pissed because he feels like he was tricked into this, and Baba's just surprised he's hot.
I feel you on that, Baba. I feel you on that. Because when I saw the original screenshots, I was like, oh. And then I saw him hot, and I was like, oh. I get it. I get the appeal.
Yeah, he was like, I've known you for 4 years now, and I've never seen what you look like. I did not know you were this hot.
Baba's about to drop his pants. Like he's over here like, you can have me.
So yeah, Ryan calls out Ota's sadism, and he's like, why did I? He's like, why should I have told you? You were having fun. You were having fun calling me weak, saying I was useless.
And we know he's not weak because man picked you up like you were nothing.
Mm-hmm. I was like, damn, you just called out Ota's sadism right there?
In the middle of the casino? At the poker table?
And then Isaac also tells you that he knows that the Mad Hatter persona is like a defense mechanism for Ryan because Ryan doesn't want to get hurt. So he uses that persona to shield his heart. Because Rhion's a soft and kind person. He's very vulnerable. He's like a child. Not in the same way that you're like a child to Mamoru.
No, very, very different. Very different.
I meant his mindset is childish.
Which most young men, they're all pretty childish. I mean, just look at Ota. He went into...
He's around the same age as Ota.
Yeah. So we know what kind of people they were in high school.
So I'll leave the casino, and you apologize for taking him out of the house, and he pins you to the wall and asks you to... He tells you... He doesn't... I don't know why I put ask. He doesn't ask. He tells you guys are going to go to his room and that you're his for tonight, and you start crying.
Bitch!
You don't know why you're crying, but you start crying because you feel bad, which turns him off completely. And he's like, you know I hate crying. You know I think crying is ugly. And then he leaves out the elevator.
You dumb bitch.
So y'all are in the lobby. He's like walking ahead of you, and Al sees you two. Al walks up to you, he doesn't walk up to you, he walks up to Rhion, but then starts yelling at Rhion, grabs him by the collar, basically, he's politely cursing him out.
Mm-hmm.
So as this is happening, Rhion is spacing out as Al's like yelling at him and shaking him, and you can really see the white man at him.
Yeah.
And Al tries to give Rhion a reality check. He's like, you can't keep being delusional and staying in these delusions in the middle of the lobby, and like they almost fight.
Dang.
Ryan's like, nah, fam. I want to stay delusional. I'm happy in my delusional world.
Period.
In my delusional world, I don't have to wear clothes I don't like. I don't have to laugh at jokes I don't think are funny. I don't have to look at disgusting things. But when I'm in my delusions, in my world of my own, I get to see everything I like. I get to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
So then he frees you. You're Alice, no longer. He's like, yeah, now that this happened, get out.
Dang.
He doesn't say it meanly. He's just like, Alice has to wake up now, and that it's time for you to go back to the real world, and that our time has come to an end, basically. He says it much nicer than any of the other dudes do.
That's so sad. I would say no. I'd be like, don't pull this bullshit.
So then he leaves, and then Al leaves. Al doesn't even say shit to you. He just leaves.
Bitch.
Like the fuck? You didn't cause all this turmoil, and then leave.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 11. So a few days later, you now get to work as a regular housekeeper again.
Boo!
Erica shows up to bully you and laugh at you because you got fired. She's like, I knew you would get fired. This is what you get for tricking people into getting this job.
She can die.
Erica, I just don't understand Erica's hatred for me. I'm just here like, where did this come from? What did I do to deserve this? Shut up.
Exactly. She needs to mind her business.
Honestly, I wish you would just ask Isaac to fire her.
Honestly.
In his route, you should have at least asked him to fire her.
You should have at least been like, yeah, hey, that girl over there, a bitch.
Because Isaac knows she's a bitch in his route, and he would be down to fire her if you asked.
Mm-hmm.
But he also knows that you'd be like, oh my god, I can't believe you fired her on my behalf.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think in this route you would be more willing to be like, hey, fire that bitch.
Because you're going through a breakup technically right now, and you're gonna be like, and she's gonna just be a bitch. I'd be like, hey, fire her.
I mean, you do start getting a little delulu because you're like, so Chisato over here, she's like comforting me. She's like Alice's sister. So does that make Erica the Queen of Hearts?
Oh no.
And me, Alice? I'm like,
She's lost it.
You're getting a little delulu.
You're falling into your man. Okay, come on.
When we say delulu is a salulu, we don't mean it like this.
No. This is not what we meant. This is not the salulu we wanted.
You also finally acknowledge that you love him. You love all of Hatter. Each and every part of this crazy ass man.
Because it's not crazy bad, it's crazy good. And it's just a defense mechanism. I am here for this story. I'm here for
Yeah. This story is a lot more well written than the other ones.
Is why the crazy man? Why the basement dweller?
And it's so sad I didn't remember any of this stuff.
But it's good because now we get to relish in it and just be like, after all that bullshit, now we have one that's like worth our time.
I think at the time I just wasn't into like having a decent man.
I mean, with no offense, but with your track record,
Because mind you, I think I read this back when it was like they were giving out free stories each week. So that means that was around 2018, 2020 era. So yeah, I was not in the mood for like complex and decent people.
that makes sense. I don't blame you.
I mean, I wanted decent men, but I wanted them to be decent to me only.
Yeah.
I mean, Isaac's decent to other people when he wants to be.
Yeah. He's decent undercover. Like Casey
Yeah.
undercover.
Because every time I want to say Isaac is trash, I always think about the woman he sold to help her get away from her ex-boyfriend, and then I'm like, he is a decent person.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to look deep down.
Very deep down. Basement.
Very deep down there. And then he doesn't explain himself, and he also gets really upset when like people see him badly, but never explains himself. Yeah. Isaac calls you up to the penthouse and tells you that Rhion shut himself in his room and he won't come out, he won't answer phone calls. And like Isaac's a concerned dad, he's like, what the hell? My son is not coming out.
Yeah, he's over here like, what did you do to my son?
So, you think it's your fault that he's not coming out. And Isaac's like, yeah, no, it's not your fault. Read this book. And it's the book that he pulled out from the rubbish trunk.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Rhion's diary.
Oh.
In this story, apparently you're fluent in English.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, I guess it makes sense because, I mean, your boyfriend's American. I mean, he's not American. He's British.
Yeah.
So I guess it makes sense that you're fluent in English. I would expect you to be fluent in English in the other storylines too, but...
Especially working in hospitality.
In an international hotel at that.
Yeah. But I guess not.
Whatever.
Me?
Yeah, you're fluent in English here. So you don't want to read it. So, of course, Isaac makes it an order for you to read it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still on edge about reading it, but you were going to steal his photos anyway, so whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you read his diary. You find out that the twins' parents died when they were, like, really little. And, like, in the beginning, his diary was his Alice. So he would write... So every entry was him writing to Alice.
Oh. And now you're his Alice, so he didn't diary.
So, you find out that the Mad Hatter persona comes from Rhion reading about clowns and reading about how clowns make people happy and like how they get to live freely. You also find out that he's an Oxford graduate and graduated high school early.
Dang.
Man is smart.
Yeah.
You also find out that the Queen of Hearts that he's always talking about, who's like this very strict figure, is his grandmother. And she sees him as a disgrace because he's timid and reclusive and also likes to dress up like the Mad Hatter.
I'm a killing old lady.
Rhion met Isaac at the club and... at a club? That sentence doesn't even sound right.
It doesn't. For either of them.
Yeah, he met Isaac at a club while he was dressed up as a Mad Hatter. And Isaac was like, you look cool. That outfit really fits you. And Isaac was like the first person to like accept him as the Hatter, Mad Hatter.
So sweet.
So, snitched on Rhion that he was going to the club dressed as a Mad Hatter. Yeah. So he was like, fuck it. When Isaac called him, he was like, I'll move to Japan. And then he moved to Japan and became the auctioneer and lived in the basement. Because he was also tired of being rejected by his family as well, too. But
yeah,
he was tired of being lonely and rejected.
I don't blame him.
Also, his last entry was the day he bought you. And his last entry was, I'm so happy I finally found you.
Jeez, okay.
Yeah. So, you were about to go to him because you're like, oh my god, I miss Alice. He's been looking for me for like 15 years. Damn. Because his first diary entry was 15 years ago.
Okay.
It's not like he's just been searching for you for 15 years. This isn't Howl's Moving Castle.
Okay. Yeah.
So, as you're about to go get up and go look for him, an earthquake happens. Yep. And everyone is like, has to evacuate because, you know, they're by the ocean.
Yeah.
So, it's less because of like the actual earthquake and more because of a tsunami risk.
Yeah, because with the plates shifting, it causes the plates under the water to shift as well, and it causes a wave. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So you and Kishi you and Mamoru, Kishi, whatever you want to call him, start looking for Rhion because you can't find him at all. But you're confused on how Mamoru knows his full name and what he looks like, and Mamoru's like, yeah, he finally showed me his passport.
Makes sense. That makes
so I know what this man's face looks like, and I know his name.
Yeah.
He finally got that passport so he could do his theft report back in chapter 2.
Took him that long. Took him how many chapters?
We're on chapter 11.
Took him 9 chapters to get a passport. Dang.
Yeah. Man was persistent on getting that passport.
Yeah.
Probably because Isaac was like, you need to file this.
You need to help my.
You need to do your job. So you and Kishi look for him, and then Isaac pops up looking for him too. And he's like, where is he at? Have you seen him? And you are freaking out. Isaac has to calm you down. And he tells everybody that the hotel is earthquake proof and has measures set up for tsunamis.
So why did everyone evacuate?
Because Kishi told them to evacuate as the police officer.
Okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's a little late for Isaac to be telling everybody this.
Yeah.
When half of the hotel is already evacuated. So, you guys, you're fine for right now. Isaac's like, he's fine. Everything should be fine. Nothing should be happening to him. Then Kenzai shows up and he's like, there's a fire in the basement, sir.
Shit.
Yep. So, you run down to the basement. Isaac tries to stop you. He didn't try that hard. I tried to grab your arm and missed, and then was like, oh gosh.
He's like, oh no.
Gosh.
What am I?
So much work. Pretty much. So then the memories are just like pouring into your mind, and you remember all the good times with Rhion, all the bad times, and you're just like, this is so upsetting to you. You're like, you don't know if this man's going to live or not. And you realize that you tried to decide what was right for him and that you shouldn't have done that. When you were like trying to make the choice.
This never happens with you.
Character growth? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm invested.
Like, you should have tried to make him like do something that you considered normal. And try to make him like make up with his brother and go back to England and like go outside. And you're like, yeah, that was my fault. And I messed things up. I messed up this whole situation I have here. It's so surprising when you have any type of character development.
It really is. Like, this is the best storyline, not just for like the storyline itself, but for the MC. Like, wow. Like,
if you want to redeem MC, this is a storyline. This is also what makes me glad that it's last, because if I read this first and then read all the other storylines,
we'd hate.
I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad.
Yeah. I'm really glad this is how we're ending this one off.
I'd hate her even more.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'd be like, you went from this somewhat smart person to this?
Instead, now we can think of a really dumb person went to a somewhat smart person.
Yeah. But there's always no guaranteed, because we still have to do the epilogue and the other endings.
You're right. But
yeah, like, you actually acknowledge that you did something wrong here. And so we switch to Ryan's point of view for some reason.
Okay.
And Ryan's in his room depressed. He doesn't want to be alone anymore after like having you there. Because like he felt alone, but he wasn't like alone.
Yeah.
And now that he's actually had you in his life, been around you, now he's like truly alone. And he doesn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So after the phone rings like 5 times, Ryan finally picks up the phone and Isaac's like, "It took you long enough. Why didn't you answer the phone the first 5 times?"
Dang. Okay, Aizu.
So Isaac tells him that there's a fire in like the room next door and that he needs to get out. So Ryan is like, "Okay, yeah," but he doesn't really move. He doesn't really care because, he's super depressed.
Yeah.
Man does not give a shit about his own life right now.
Mm-hmm.
But then Isaac tells you to, I mean, not you, but Isaac tells him that you rushed down to save him and that he needs to bring you back alive. Yep, we love good old Isaac. I was waiting for the moment that Isaac says, "Yeah, I need her alive because I don't need any casualties in my hotel," or something like that.
It's very fitting.
I was waiting for that line to come up. It never came up.
That's sad. That's sad. It would have been perfect, but.
It would have been like, Isaac had so much character growth too.
Mm-hmm.
He hates me, but he doesn't hate me. And then he hangs up the phone. So we go back to you. You get lost because of the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're on the floor, nearly passed out, with Cheshire. So you guys are curled up together. You're about to like go unconscious when Ryan throws open his door. He hears Cheshire, sees you, and runs over to you guys. You think you're hallucinating,
Mm-hmm.
and you pass out. So then he gets you to the stairway and closes the door, so at least he like has some time
Mm-hmm.
before like all the smoke gets to you. So he does CPR and mouth to mouth compressions. Man is like crying. He's like scared you're gonna die. Man is bawling as he's doing his compressions, and it's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
You finally wake up after a while, and he tells you that he doesn't really want you gone, and he starts carrying you upstairs, and he's like, "Why did you come back? Why did you come save me?" And he's like, and you're like, "I saved you because I want to be with you." Yeah, he's like, "We live in two different worlds. You're normal. I'm not. No one could love me because I'm not normal." And he believes that he's going to hurt you, and that his grandmother has always told him that no one can love someone like him, and he can't make anyone happy.
Yes.
Yeah, we hate his mom up here.
Grandma.
Yeah, grandma. His mom's dead. That man's an orphan. He's Batman.
Go Batman.
If Batman got into clowns,
Oh god.
he's Joker.
He's Joker. But like Batman level Joker, it's really weird. It's like if Batman and Joker had a love child. I don't want to read that fanfic.
I mean, there's plenty out there.
I know, and I don't want to read them. I'm good. I'm Gucci.
You love him no matter what. You said you love his caked up, ghastly white face. You love his nonsensical shit that he says. You love him for him. And he's like, "Is that really what you think about me? Damn, that's mean."
Look how awkward he is. He's like, I don't know what else to say, so I'm gonna call you mean. Because I don't know what else to say.
But he does take you up to the lobby. You see Erica and Chisato working, trying to help other people out, giving them like tea, blankets, and stuff. And you're like, "I need to go to work. I need to help them." Ryan does not let you go. He's like, "No, absolutely not. I'm going to hold you and keep you right here."
You're not going anywhere. You just confessed your love to me. You think you're going somewhere?
Then he tells you that he wants to be with you and that he loves you too. Episode 12.
Episode 12.
So you're having this romantic TV moment, like romantic movie. You're running up to the window and you're like, "Oh my god, look at the starry sky. This is such a $1 million view." I'm laughing because like it's so funny. So I mean, it's a cute moment. So Ryan comes up to you, hugs you from behind, and he's like, "Is it really that beautiful? You're more beautiful." And then you're like, "Oh my god, you can't compliment me. It's so embarrassing." And you guys go back and forth and having this lovey-dovey moment. And Ota tells y'all to shut up. Ota, he tells y'all to shut up and you're making him sick. Because he's bitter like me.
Yeah.
And you turn around, you look at the seats. They're all there.
There.
Yeah, every single one of them.
Just sitting and watching.
And you're like, how long have you been here? And Baba's like, we've been here the whole time.
We're just there for the show.
Yeah, so that whole moment you were having with Rhion, they were there the whole time. Sitting there watching y'all looking disgusted.
Dang. Except for Baba. Baba was probably sitting there like, he's so hot. And this is so romantic.
Yeah, he's over here like, so romantic. And the rest of them are just like, they didn't even notice us. Damn, love is blind, for real.
Oh my.
We were sitting here this whole time and y'all are having this whole romantic moment.
I can just imagine Isaac sitting there with a wine glass just, what am I gonna do? But, ugh.
No, because I'm just here like, what? How did you not notice them?
Right? Like, you're sitting there looking at each other. How did you not, like, hear them or see them out of your peripheral?
Also, Bubba was also like, we're here all the time. This is our lounge. This is the penthouse lounge. We're here all the time.
Exactly.
So did you expect us not to be here when you had your little romantic moment?
Bob was like, we're just as much of homebodies as you guys are.
They don't do anything except go to the casino.
In this route, yeah. I don't know if Baba's secretly working his convenience store job.
He's always working his convenience store job.
It's so funny.
Man, it makes me mad. People need those jobs.
Mm-hmm. And he works it for funsies.
And then Ota starts imitating y'all and mocking y'all. He's like, no, you. And you guys make him sick. Just like he wants to throw up.
Womp womp.
He's so hateful and bitter.
He really is. Like, get a life.
So Ryan's living in the penthouse temporarily because the smoke did too much damage to the basement and they have to repair it. Yep, so you guys get to live in the penthouse.
Mm-hmm.
And Baba's like, maybe he can decorate. Because everybody's like, it's so weird having this weirdo living with us on the same floor as us. And he's like, I like having this weirdo here. Maybe he can decorate and make it look weird. And Isaac's like, no, absolutely not. That man cannot decorate in this house.
Baba is such a huge supporter, and Isaac is just like, listen, we can acknowledge that he's weird, but if he touches my room, I'm gonna lose my shit.
I'm just sitting here like, that's the line you draw.
Decorating? Apparently.
This is your line. He can't decorate the penthouse. Yeah, but Isaac's trying to play with Cheshire, and Cheshire will not play with him. What do you want? Okay. Yeah, Cheshire won't play with him. So Isaac's like, I'll buy her a gold toy, a pure gold, a solid gold toy. A solid gold cat toy.
He is so desperate for animals to love him.
Yep. And Baba's like, that's not the problem, honey.
It's you.
Animals don't like you.
Just face the facts, baby.
And Isaac's just sad boy.
Aww.
And Ota's being a hater. He's like, I hate having this man under my roof. I hate living next to this man. I hope he leaves. Get him out.
Jeez, Ota.
And he has like no problem saying this to anybody's face. And I'm just here like, are you okay? Are you good? What did this man do to you?
Maybe he's just jealous. Because man is so fine.
I mean, yeah. Isaac tells you he doesn't mind you staying in the penthouse with Rhion.
Oh.
And he even already had a key made for you. And then he goes back to trying to get the cat to like him.
Yep. Makes sense. He can't let the moment linger.
He starts complaining about like how the cat doesn't like the toy. And then Ryan's like, she loves that toy. What do you mean?
Rhion, don't break your dad's heart.
And then Ryan starts talking to the cat. And Isaac tries to talk to the cat. The cat keeps ignoring him. And he's super sad.
Poor Isaac. Oh my god.
And that's when Ota calls the cat a fat ass. Yeah, he's like, what's up with this cat? What's up with this fat cat? Its tummy is dragging on the floor. It's so fat.
I really, really want Rhion to put him in his place.
And Baba's like, she's not fat. She's just voluptuous.
Voluptuous. She's voluptuous. Calm down.
And Ryan's like, she lost weight though. And Ota's like, if that's how she looks, when she lost weight, how fat was she before?
What? My gosh.
Ota's
Number one hater.
Yeah, he's the number one hater over here. So yeah, that happens. And after that, Ryan's like, yeah, I don't want to be here anymore.
I don't blame him. That's some bullshit. And child. And
He's like, I'm good. So he drags you off to go see the room, to go like check it out. Because this is still the same day the fire happened in the tsunami.
Oh, okay.
So he hasn't seen the room yet. You go into the room, you check it out. As you're like touring the place, he goes and takes a shower because he's like, I don't care. So he lets you go take a shower, and while you're like showering, you're like, are we gonna fuck?
You know, I'm really liking this. I'm here for her whole new. This is an adapter to charge and listen to music off of my phone. I don't know why I have it. I've been fidgeting with it. Anyways, I'm liking this. I'm enjoying this. Her mind is where my mind is, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, so you're thinking that because you're like, that's what it means to stay over at someone's house, right? When a man asks you to come over, that means you're gonna fuck, right?
You're one horny bitch.
I'm like, calm down, girl. Y'all just started dating today.
She's down bad.
Like, y'all relationship started this afternoon. And Ryan does not seem like the type to be like, hey, let's fuck.
Yeah, he's not like
immediately.
He's not like all the penthouse boys.
Yeah, no. Because I don't know what's up with them, if they were just pent up. But
the penthouse boys are pent up.
They were all ready. They were all down. So you go back into the room after you take a shower. You think he's passed out. So you just want to stare at his face because you're like, he's so pretty.
Okay. Yeah.
He's just so hot. I just want to look at his face more. Look at the details. Look at how long his eyelashes are.
Some men have beautiful eyelashes.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. So you decide that you're going to go back to the dorm since, man's already passed out and whatnot. And go to sleep in the dorms because you don't really feel comfortable, being up in this fancy room with everybody else. You don't think you deserve it. So as you're about to leave and say goodnight, he pulls you back into the bed. Yeah. You're surprised. He's like, don't leave me. He doesn't actually say it, but that's what he's like.
Yeah. He doesn't want
to that's the underlying message of him pulling you into bed.
Yeah. It's don't leave me. These guys are mean.
He does know how to hold his own against Ota.
Yeah, clearly, but that's when he's in Hatter mode.
He just doesn't.
Hatter mode is his sicko mode.
Yeah, Ota was also mad at him earlier because Ryan started calling him Ota instead of Mr. Kisek. And you're like, he's like, I don't know what's going on with you. You first it's Ota, then it's Mr. Kisaki. Just pick a name, pick a lane.
Oh my gosh.
Ota was just like looking for a reason.
He really was. He's just cranky this time. Very cranky.
Ota's like on the same level as he was in Baba's storyline, except he's not trying to get with you this time.
No, he's just trying to hate on Ryan. Sorry.
So, yeah, he goes to sleep, and y'all don't get to sleep together. The next day, Ryan wants to explore the hotel, but you guys end up running into Al.
Ew.
Because he's waiting in the lobby. Al apologizes.
Oh.
And he's like, I'm sorry I tried to take away, your safe space. I'm sorry I pressured you. You just always been so much smarter than me and I didn't realize how much pressure I was putting on you and how I treated you.
Okay.
He's just like, I just thought you'd deserve the best, and that you're just so smart, you're so much better than me, and I thought that I wanted you to be in the real world. I wanted you to have like a reality check
Mm-hmm.
so you could actually like live in this world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a good brother.
Yeah.
And so Ryan ends up apologizing to him too because he's like, "You're my twin. I should have left you. I shouldn't have abandoned you and left you with our grandmother." And his tick, where he's always checking his watch, happens to come from his grandma.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's one of his trauma responses because Al used to be more laid back in the past until he got put into shape. Ryan talks to himself. I mean, that's his bad habit,
Mm-hmm.
which, I mean, that's not surprising.
Man is.
So, I mean, like, he's like, "I'm sorry. You're like, looking at you was like looking in a mirror at me. And I just didn't like that. So I ran away from you as well." And then they kind of made up.
Oh, that's good.
And he introduces you as his girlfriend. And Al gives you that little "I told you so" look. He's just here like, so you're his girlfriend, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Man was like, "I knew this whole time y'all were dating." Ironically, you weren't dating, but
But, let him believe what he wants to believe.
so then he tells Ryan that he will tell their grandma that he didn't find them, that he didn't find Ryan. And Ryan's like, "No, I'm gonna tell her I'm going to live the life I want myself."
Go.
So they both go off to England to go confront his grandmother.
Mm.
Yep. So now we have my ending. The ending I got was the secret ending because
Woo.
I played my part. I did my job well.
She did her duty.
I did my job as listening to his fantasies and going along with it well, so I get the secret ending. No, there's a disclaimer at the beginning of the whole story that tells you this route is not how the other routes go. You need to, in order to get the secret endings, you need to, like, make him feel good, make him feel happy, so you can get all the secret stuff. And I was like, okay, thanks for the disclaimer. Now I know I need to just go along with whatever he says.
Mm-hmm. And it worked. She did her job.
Yes. Because there was some choices I was like, I don't know if this is going to make him mad, upset.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were some choices that the lines were blurry.
Yeah. But you did it.
Yes, I did it. I got the secret ending. So, it's been like a few days, or even weeks, I don't know. And Isaac asked to see you. Isaac is still timing your arrivals.
Dang. Come on, man.
You get up there, and he's like, "You're 30 seconds earlier than you were last time. But you're still late."
Jeez. Okay.
Baba has to remind him, teleportation's not a thing yet.
It is for Baba.
I mean, true.
He just needs to share.
Share your secrets.
Literally.
Yeah, some teleportation's not a thing. Isaac's like, "I don't care. I'm teaching her. I'm training her.
Of course.
I'm training this woman." And yeah, remember it was like, "You want some water? You're like, you ran up here. Are you good?"
Why are the mean people so nice?
I don't know.
Baba's the only one consistent through all of these. Baba and Aizu.
I personally think that they had different writers for this storyline in particular.
That makes sense, honestly.
I think they had different writers which fucked up everybody else's like personalities while like keeping like certain characters like Baba, because they're like pretty, you can make Baba pretty one note and him be like consistent.
Yeah.
But everyone else, they just kind of ramped up like their other qualities to like a 10. Like they'll find like a specific quality about like Isaac, like him being like this whole boss man, that was ramped up to a 10, which makes him gives off a more fatherly figure, like disappointed father vibe.
Yeah. Compared to his normal, like, egotistical business owner while still being, like, a decent business owner.
And secretly caring.
Yeah.
And then Soru, they said Soru was quiet, so they just don't have him talk at all unless it's to move the plot along. They
He was mean sometimes, and now he's mean all the time.
his only personality trait was being mean.
Mm-hmm.
Mamoru, I don't think they had anything to work with.
So they just had him be a like father figure to her because he saw her as a child.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah. But where was that? Yeah. So he gives you water, and you don't want to take the water because I mean, you're on the job, you're still working, you don't want to take water from guests. And they're like, we order you to take this water then.
Dang.
You drain that water. And they start laughing at you. So they're like, we're holding an auction. And you're like, But Rhion isn't back yet. So how are you going to have an auction? They're like, we have another auctioneer.
You set your.
We have someone.
Oh no.
And you're like, who? No, I don't think anybody can do Hatter's job because it's Hatter's tea party. So who's going to be the auctioneer? As they all stare at you.
This is one of your dumb moments.
You don't realize that you're the auctioneer for the night until you're at the auction in your Alice in Wonderland dress, waiting to go on stage.
Of course.
Yeah. And Isaac says if you don't do a good job, he's going to sell you. Yeah.
Okay. So the stakes are somewhat high.
He's like, you're going to get sold again. No one can save you now.
Your boyfriend's in England.
So you get through it. You do a terrible job at it. Because they're making comments like, this is like a school play. That's how bad it was. And they're like, is this a joke?
Dang.
So you're stumbling. Ryosuke ends up giving you the wrong name for one of the paintings. And you're like, I'm so dumb for listening to that stupid... What is he? I want to call him a dog, but he's not a dog.
He acts like one.
Yeah. You're like, I'm so dumb for listening to this stupid golden retriever. And, for the last item, no one's there. No one's bringing in anything, so you go to the back to go check what it is. A cage falls down from the sky.
No.
And traps you in. And so then you're wheeled out onto the stage. Isaac comes out to the intercom and he's like, Alice, since you did such a poor job being an auctioneer, you're the last item I'm bidding today. So Kota comes out with his mask on and starts bidding you at $1.
$1?
So you're the price of $1. It goes up to around $250. It's so sad that you went from a 20 million price range to $250.
It really is.
Yep. So as they're bidding on you, the lights go off and then they come back on. And from the sky, Hatter comes down and he's like, did you all miss me? Did you all miss the Mad Hatter? It seems like the card soldiers took over my show tonight while I was gone. And, yeah. So then you're let out the cage and there's two Hatters.
His brother?
Yeah, there's a red one and then there's Hatter. And so they're like, people are like, oh my god, there's two of them? And Hatter's like, he is me, I am him. Did you think there was only two of us?
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I would assume there was only... I mean, did you think there was only one of me, not two of us?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume there was only one of you. I mean, most people... I mean, twins are common, but they're not that common.
Yeah. Especially not identical twins.
Yeah.
But, okay.
But go off.
Mm-hmm.
So, you get let out the cage. Al tells you that you're confused for some reason. You're like, okay, so this is Rhion. Who's the other Hatter? And he's like, that's Al.
Yeah.
Al tells you that cosplaying is pretty fun. And he kind of likes it. It was like, good for you.
Hope you have...
Weirdo? I can't even call him a weirdo because, I mean, I guess I would do it. Actually, I'm not gonna cosplay like that.
No.
But I would cosplay. I'm not going to be a black market auctioneer, okay?
That is not the reason we will be cosplaying today.
I'm trying to justify this in any way I can, but at the same time, I can't justify this.
Mm.
I still want to call this man a weirdo. But yeah, so Hatter tells the crowd that no one can buy you because you're his already.
Mm-hmm.
And that you're not allowed to be bought by anybody else.
Slay.
Yeah. So then they bring out the real last item for the night, which is the title of Duke.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay.
He's giving up his title as Duke and selling it.
I didn't know you could sell your title.
This is the black market auctions.
You're right. You're right.
Anything and everything can be sold here.
That's fair.
Don't know how that's gonna work outside of that, but okay. You can't just go erase somebody's name from the registry and be like, hey, this dude is the Duke now.
Exactly. But I guess he's gonna find a way.
Yeah. So after the auctions, you end up going to the carnival, and Rhion joins you because he always comes up from behind and hugs you. That all sounded weird, but he always comes up from behind and hugs you. So you always know it's him from like the smell of his perfume. Yeah, and you guys kind of enjoy the carnival. He tells you he loves you. You tell him you love him, and that's how the secret ending ends.
Well, that's cute.
He's such a great character. I love him.
He really is. I love him too. He is amazing. He's my favorite.
He's so complex compared to the others.
Yeah, and the story played out way better, in my opinion, than the other stories. Like, it had like a cohesive following point while being completely confusing in the beginning.
Because like a lot of the stories, they kind of go into like the complexity of like the trauma that the other characters go through, and the fact that they're supposed to be complex characters, but it doesn't actually like
apply.
It doesn't actually go into them.
Yeah.
It gets brought up in a backstory and a past, and they're like, he's changed, but it doesn't actually like address the problem.
Yeah. Whereas this, they actually have it not only addressed, but they have the problem still showing in his like actions day to day.
Yeah, because it's like he's more real.
Yeah.
It's not like he just did an 180 and one day was in love with you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was in love with the idea of like someone like you this whole time, but you had time to actually get to know him
and for him
learn about him. I'm still bothered by how everything with Mamoru went down, because I'm like, one moment you don't like him and then suddenly you're in love with him and you're like, you're great, you deserve. And then like also as you like go along with, as you read through these stories, you start getting more and more accepting of the auctions, which this one is like the one story you're like the most accepting of it, which personally I'm glad, because I'm like, I'd never cared.
Yeah, and honestly, like the whole trope of I hate the auctions, they need to stop. It was just annoying because like what were you gonna do about it? They weren't doing anything. Like, they weren't gonna just stop the auctions for you, so the big hullabaloo that you would cause over it was just unnecessary.
And you can't even prove it.
Exactly. Because they have a way to wipe it all out.
Exactly. But, like, yeah. I prefer, because a lot of the stuff that we have in the other stories that I don't really like is, like, gone in this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you still have your dumb moments, but, I mean...
They're not every single second.
I mean... A lot of the dumb moments you have here are more justifiable.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can justify the fact that you were like iffy on the whole him not having a twin thing, because he literally told you, gaslighted you into thinking he didn't have a twin. And I mean, like, when you don't know anything about this person, you just kind of have to trust his word on it. So, I mean, but you being in shock that he has a twin was a little stupid, but
I guess, like, I'm okay with that being just one of her minor stupid moments instead of it being, like, a constant thing, like it normally is.
Also, you not realizing that Al is the second Mad Hatter, stupid.
Very stupid, because, like, even I caught on to that right away when I heard there was another Hatter.
Very stupid, but at the same time, I'm just here like you're in a birdcage, you're thinking you're about to be sold again. You're probably not in the, like...
fully...
You're not in the best mindset.
Yeah, so, like, they're excusable moments where it's like, you know what, thinking about it, okay. Her not realizing this is... I probably wouldn't realize it in the moment either.
And then you don't have as many moments where you're being like a prude.
Yeah, you're
like
one this time.
Like being a prude, being celibate, and not wanting to like sleep with people, do any of that stuff. It's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like in the other stories, it's like to an absurd degree.
Yeah. In this one, you were actually the one who was like, "Are we gonna sleep together?" Because he's hot. But like, it was never something that was constantly pressed, and you weren't freaking out over the minor intimate moments, like when they were in the kitchen and when they were lifted up and when they danced around the kitchen. Like, it wasn't as like, "Oh my god, she's freaking out over this. Like, why is she freaking out?"
Like you get embarrassed. You don't really want him to do it because you're like, this is random dude. And plus, I mean, like, it's kind of like first date stuff. You have your boundaries.
Yeah.
And your boundaries are like being ignored. I'm going to say your boundaries are ignored because he doesn't even ask you what your boundaries are. But
yeah.
Plus you have those two different culture, because you have the different cultures. So like, I don't know how English culture is about being touchy-feely.
I don't either, but they often tend to play like English and American characters as very touchy-feely.
Yeah. So just naturally, just assuming, I'm going to say that English culture is like more touchy-feely with people that they're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
And Japan is more reserved.
Yeah.
So of course you're gonna be like embarrassed with those kind of moments and stuff like that. But it's not like to the point where you're like over here having a whole breakdown like you do in the other stories.
Yeah.
Just because man was like, hey, hold hands.
Well, I guess we have more to look forward to in the next mini episode, which will be ending Bought by the Baddest Bidder.
Yep. We're gonna be done.
Woo!
For at least like 2-3 months.
And like, I'm glad that we're ending it on this one because this is such like a pick-me-up after all of the others.
Like, unfortunately for Bought by the Baddest Bidder, Rhion doesn't come back in season 2. Yeah, he doesn't come back until like season 5 or 6.
No.
It's fucking stupid.
It's so stupid. He's the best.
Instead, we get Luke, and we also get that fucking diplomat. I hate him so much.
Or Rhion, or however you say his name.
Yeah, it's kind of I'm thinking it's Rhion, because Rhionin, because it's spelled Rhion.
Yeah, I'm guessing Rhion then, because that's...
Yeah, after this we'll be closing out Bought by the Baddest Bidder, and we'll be on to the next one, which will be on to my favorite story overall. Yeah, is it Briar and the Roses, or it's one of those names. We'll get the name right when we get to the story.
Yeah, right.
I have no choice.
It's okay that we don't have the name. All right, deuces.
Deuces.